All right, everybody, what's going on? And welcome to today's edition of SWAC Talk Show. We cover the SWAC inside and out. Of course, I am your tour guide around the SWAC. C. Wells coming at you. And it's week zero, baby. Week zero is here. We got about to do the week zero preview. Man, football is officially here. We got a lot of action going on. We got two games featuring SWAC teams taking place, as well as a couple other games featuring some future SWAC opponents. So we're gonna talk about it all, man. We're gonna I'm gonna give my predictions, and we're just gonna go through and have a good time, man. It's finally here, and hey, let's go, man. Without any further ado, you can check out the socials on the screen. Facebook is Swag Talk, Instagram is Swag Talk, Twitter is Swag Talk 76. Feel free to hit me up on those, like them, follow them, whatever the case may be. Do that. Since you're here, if you haven't done so already, man, won't you subscribe to the channel? The channel is growing rapidly. We're approaching 700 subscribers. So, man, won't you be a part of that number and hit that notification bell so you can be alerted to any content that I upload, because I do drop things from time to time outside of my normal schedule. So don't miss out on any of that. Like the video, share them, and feel free to comment, man. Let me know what you think about this week zero action. And, give me your winners and all of that, man. And, anything that you might think might be a surprise player or what have you. So, man, let's go ahead and jump into it, man. I am so excited. I don't even want to waste too much more time. So let's go ahead and talk about a little bit of week zero, man. This is the time, man. I love being in this element and checking out these games, man. So we're gonna talk about the first game we're gonna talk about is Florida A&M and North Carolina. Rattlers and Tar Heels hooking up 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That game will be shown on the ACC network. So this is a game that the people in Carolina are trying to make a big to do out of, really making it one of those, not really a classic, but a game where they can kind of celebrate the HBCU realm and making it an HBCU type of game. So I'm excited, man. The Rattlers are coming into this game looking to make some things happen. Trying to get that nasty taste out of their mouth from the playoffs. Carolina coming off of a very disappointing 6-7 season, where they thought they were going to have a very good season with a guy like Sam Howell at quarterback and all those weapons at the skill positions, but it just never came to pass for them. So they're looking for a fresh start. And let's just go ahead and talk about the game, man. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Like I said, Carolina is losing their quarterback. They're gonna have a brand new quarterback, redshirt freshman, Drake May. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina. I think he's 6'4". So he's a guy that they've been looking forward to playing. They've been looking forward to see on the field. So the time is his now, and it's gonna be interesting to see how he can get things done. They're losing a lot of production. They're losing a 1,000-yard rusher in Ty Chandler, so they're replacing him with DJ Jones, who's a guy who ran for about 250 yards on the season and averaged 4.2 yards per carry. Sam Howell was also one of their leading rushers as well, so they're losing their top 2 rushers, and they're looking to replace that. The receivers, they return quite a few guys in the receiving core that can make plays. Josh Downs is a 1,000-yard receiver, 1,335 yards, average 13.2 yards per catch, and 8 touchdowns. Antoine Green's another guy coming back. He averaged 19.7 yards per catch and 5 touchdowns. And Kamari Morales, 9.2 yards per catch, 220 yards and 5 touchdowns. So they have some weapons coming back. The running game is not going to be maybe at least at the beginning of the season as potent as it had been. But they're replacing some guys. So this team, is looking for a fresh start, and they're looking to come out and make some things happen. And you gotta expect that this team will play well. First game at home. Looking to get off to a good start on the season, and they're gonna be challenged. FAMU's gonna come in and try to make some things happen, but looking at continue to look at the Tar Heels a little bit more. Um, they they lose quite a bit on this team, so they're kind of in rebuild mode. I mean, like I said, when you have a team who the past 2 years were top 10 ranked teams during certain portions of the season, but always but finished with 500 or sub 500 records. This is a team and a program who hasn't really had the success that they kind of thought they would. So, looking at a few defensive names, I'll throw out there. You we'll throw out a guy like Tony Grimes, who had 35 tackles on the season, 47 total tackles on the season, two tackles for loss. Guy who was a guy got a couple good plays. Cameron Kelly is another name to look out for in the secondary. 69 tackles on the season, three pass breakups and 4 interceptions. That's those are guys who you can kind of keep an eye out on for the Tar Heels. I like I said, it's not a lot to really kind of put a lot of stock into this game because both teams are trying to kind of figure out who they are. I'm looking at FAMU moving over to the Rattlers. We know that this team is going to be led by their defense. I mean, their offense is still very capable. Quarterback is going to be the thing. McKay, Musa, who's going to get the start. To me, this game it's a very important game. But to me, it's also like I don't want to call it a preseason type of game, but to me, I've always felt like this game is very important for FAMU in terms of figuring out who they are and what they are before they go into the Orange Blossom Classic next week. So this is a game to kind of come out and work out some things and establish a guy at that position. Quarterback is definitely important. Terrell Jennings, Jalen McLeod, AJ Davis, those guys are going to take care of the running game. Obviously, you got tons of guys at receiver, Manigo, Smith, Kamari Young at tight end, Jamari Shareed. The return game is there. Special teams unit is there defensively. They're replacing some guys on the D line, but they still return. Guys like Gentle Hunt and Isaiah Land also returning. BJ Bowler in the secondary, and Lovey Jenkins as well. So this team is gonna lean on their defense and the running game, and as long as whoever's playing quarterback takes care of the football, the passing game will be there. So they're calling this a get money game and not a money game. They coming to get money. They coming to take care of business. They coming to win. And that's the mentality that you want to have in a game like this. You want to come to win, whether you do or not, that's one thing, but you always want to approach a game like this with that mindset that you plan to win. My keys for this game for Carolina are simple. Just be who you are. Get your young quarterback some confidence early. He's got some weapons, so give him some short throws or things to establish himself in the passing game and allow the running game to pick up steam as the game goes on. He doesn't have to win it by himself. Defensively, just stay the course and try to get some turnovers and get off the field. And don't give FAMU any opportunity to drive the football. For FAMU, my keys are simple. Number one, you want to get in and get out. You want to you got a big game next week, so you don't want to grind your guys out. You want to make it through as relatively unscathed as you can, and that's a key for every game. But a game like this, especially before a big game next week, you want to make sure that you get your guys in and get them out. Come to play to win, play clean. Don't turn over the ball. Don't help Carolina win this game. Make them earn it, and find out who your guys are. Whatever position battles you have going into this game, they need to be solidified coming out of this game. So find out who your quarterback is for certain. Find out any other positions that guys are kind of back and forth on. Iron it all out. Like I said, use this game as a springboard for next week. They always say you develop more between your first and second game than any other portion of the season. So you can expect some development, but this is opportunity to come out and make some plays. So for FAMU, you want to score early, make Carolina uncomfortable, and then let the chips fall where they may. So to me, it's very important for FAMU to not shoot themselves in the foot. Don't turn the ball over. Take advantage of the return game that you have on kickoff returns and punt returns. They're probably not going to kick the ball to you, so you can probably benefit from that field position wise. They're either going to try to kick it out of the back of the end zone on kickoff, so they're going to probably punt out of try to punt away from you. So you can probably take advantage of some of those opportunities and get some hidden yardage and set yourself up. But you have to take advantage of any opportunity you get. You have to start fast, and you have to play as clean as you can. First game, anything can happen. Teams are always a little bit more sloppy than normal on the first game of the season. So this game, like I said, I didn't want to put too much time into it, and I still put enough into it. But I think the Rattlers are going to come out. I think they're going to play hard. I think they're going to get after Carolina, but I think the Tar Heels are going to win this game. I'm going with a score of 42-21. I think FAMU will be in it early. I think the numbers and the depth will kind of wear them down a little bit, but I think they're gonna take advantage of some opportunities. They're gonna make some big plays, and they're gonna set themselves up for the rest of the season. So that's that game. And now we move on to basically our game of the week for the conference, and that's the MEAC SWAC Challenge. You got Howard Bison against Alabama State Hornets. Alabama State's coming in here with a new head coach, a new attitude, a new quarterback, new everything. They're coming in here ready to roll. Howard is a team that a lot of people may not know a lot about. They were 3-8 last season. They're on their third coach in how many years? So they've had a lot of turnover in this program. They'll feel like they have a little bit of a resurgence, but they've been picked, I think, 5th coming into the season in the MEAC. So not a lot is expected of this team. But in a game like this, it's the first game of the season. You can focus all your energy into this game. Things can happen in these kind of games that can allow you an opportunity to pull off a victory. I don't know if it's necessarily an upset because Bama State wasn't really a great team last year, but this is the kind of game that if you're not careful, you can lose. Howard, they have the offense is led by Quentin Williams. He's a senior quarterback. He's 6'5", 200. He was 176 of 301 last season for 2,353 yards and 16 touchdowns on the season. So he can, put the ball in the air. They have some good receivers coming back. Antoine Murray, who was a first-team all-conference selection. Casey Hawthorne. Jared Hunter as a running back also was a guy who can catch the ball out the backfield. So they did a pretty good job of spreading the ball around. They threw the ball for about 227 yards a game last season. And Matthew McDonald's another guy who also is a key piece of their receiving core. But a lot of people feel like this season they want to run the ball. And like I said, last season Murray led the team with 33 catches for 629 yards and 7 touchdowns. He averaged 19 yards per catch. Hawthorne, 40 catches, 447 yards, 11 yards per catch, 2 touchdowns. McDonald, 20 catches, 288 yards, 14 yards per catch, and 4 touchdowns. You also got 29 catches from your running back. So that's a weapon that you're definitely going to have to account for. Hunter was the leading rusher with 137 carries for 625 yards, 4.6 yards per carry, and 3 touchdowns. Ian Wheeler is another back that they have. He had 65 carries for 443 yards, 6.8 yards per carry, and 8 touchdowns. Casey Hawthorne, 13 carries, 112 yards, 101 yards, 7.8 yards per carry, and 1 touchdown. So you can expect to see him touch the ball in some running plays. So they have guys And they have Eden James, who is Edgerrin James' son. He's a true freshman coming in. So they have an opportunity to have a very potent offense. Last season, the offense averaged about 353 yards per game. So you can probably expect an uptick in that if they can, continue to develop. They had a very young team last year, and so you're gonna probably see some more growth out of this team, as the season goes on. So this is not a team to be taken lightly offensively. They have a ton of weapons. Last season, they turned the ball over. They turned the ball over 14 times on the season. So turnovers kind of bit them in the butt a little bit. Defensively, they only forced 5 turnovers on the season. So that is an issue for them. Turning teams over. That really hurt them as a defense. They converted 39% on third downs as an offense. So that was probably another reason why they struggled defensively. They were really solid on third down at 36%. So their defense, who is pretty solid against the run, they allowed where they were kind of porous a little against the run, 178 yards per game, 4.7 yards per carry, 214 yards through the air. They allowed a total of 392 yards per game. So numbers are kind of similar to their offense. Some names to look out for on their defense. Darian Brokenburr. He's a guy who who was named the first team at the register in 16 solo tackles, 3.5 sacks for a loss, 3.5 sacks. He's one of the top guys being looked at in the MEAC. Terrence Holton, 34 tackles. Christian White, 37, 6 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. Ray Williams is a safety, 52 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. A junior all-conference selection, Kenny Gallup, led the league with 75 tackles and 4 pass breakups. So he's returning. They just are gonna have to continue to develop as a defense and be more aggressive and forcing turnovers. That's something that they really struggled against. So that's something they're gonna have to really pick up the pace on. Special teams, for Raji Woodson returns. He's their kicker. He's a guy who can really put the ball. He did pretty well kicking the ball. Wheeler averaged 24 yards per kick return. So they have some weapons in the return game. Depth is something that they're trying to build. But like I said, this team is young, or they're a bit older than last season. But you're gonna expect some mistakes from this team. Bama State is coming in. Like I said, they have a new head coach, new offensive coordinator who was a first-time coordinator, new defensive coordinator, new system, new quarterback, new everything. So this is a big test for Bama State. There's a lot of external pressure being put on the Hornets coming into this game because a lot of people feel like this is a must-win game for the SWAC in this MEAC SWAC challenge because obviously the MEAC has dominated this series. So Demetrius Davis will be the starter at quarterback. He's a transfer from Auburn, coming in highly touted, very athletic guy, not the best passer, but his legs are definitely a weapon. So I would expect early in a game like this, early in the season, you can expect to see him try to make some plays with his legs. Howard's going to make him have to beat them with his arm. And that's, to me, going to be the difference in this game. They have guys that can carry the ball. Jacory Merritt is a guy who's a returning rusher on the team. Jawan Howell is another guy that you can expect to see touch the ball. The receiving core is going to have to, make some plays. Levante Chenault is a guy that I like a lot. He from Texas, went to Colorado. You can expect to see him make some plays. He's 6'2", 194, a young guy. But they have some guys. Jeremiah Hickson is their returning leading receiver. So expect to see him really make some plays in this offense. They're going to try to, spread you out a little bit, but Davis is going to have to take care of the football. He's going to have to minimize his mistakes and understand that their defense is going to be very good. So you don't have to do a lot with this defense. Just don't put them in a lot of bad positions and they'll help you out. So I'm expecting Bama State to really lean on their defense. You have guys like Ershaw Davis, secondary, who can really play ball. Natron Culpepper, So those are guys who are gonna be called on to help this defense take care of this offense until they develop. So for Howard, the keys to this game are, you have the more experienced quarterback. Your staff has been around a little bit longer, but your team hasn't had that much success. So fast starts are important for both of these teams. Howard really needs to establish themselves on the ground to allow that to open up their running game. To open up their passing game, because they know that they have the guys that they can depend on in both phases of the offense. Defensively, they have to force turnovers. With an offense that's young and a quarterback that's young, you have to put him. Speaking of Bama State, you have to put him in situations where he's not comfortable. He make him run, and then spy him. Put a spy on him. Make him have to make some plays with his arm. Maybe he'll force a throw or two. Maybe he'll turn it over, trying to make something happen, running the ball. You want to get Bama State behind the chains. You really want to make them have to drive the length of the field. You want to make them have to work for everything that they have. And you want to just put them in situations that they're not comfortable in at this portion of the season, being a young team with a young, new coaching staff, brand new coach. A lot of things can work against Bama State in this game. So Howard has to force the issue and take advantage of any opportunities that they get early. Bama State, same thing, fast start. You have to start fast on both sides of the ball. Your defense has to get stops early. Offensively, you have to drive the football. You have to score points. Hopefully 7 and not 3. You have to take care of the football. You have to keep your quarterback doing what he's comfortable doing, which means if he's not comfortable really passing the ball a lot, then you need to establish that running game and get him in a situation to where he can pass when he wants to, not when he has to. So you have to stay up ahead of the chains and be the aggressor in this game and, force the issue, move the ball, keep Howard on their heels, because neither one of these teams has a winning mentality, winning culture. So if anybody falls behind, it's going to be interesting to see if they can dig deep and get themselves back in it. To me, the biggest thing is for Bama State is you want to keep the decisions, the key, huge decisions, to a minimum for your coaching staff. You don't want them to have to put themselves in a lot of situations that they haven't been in, and that goes on both sides of the ball as a coaching staff. You want to keep them comfortable. You want to keep your quarterback comfortable. You want to keep him out of situations that can hurt you. So being aggressive, taking advantage of any opportunity that you get, forcing turnovers, getting good field position, putting yourself in a lot of good positions is key in this game, because I feel like this game will probably be a sloppy game because, it's the first game of the season, and for Bama State, there's a lot of emotion and a lot of, the eagerness to do this and do that. So you really want to put yourself in a position to take advantage of whatever comes your way. The team that navigates all that washing and foolishness during the game is the team that's going to come out on top. I think there's going to be a very close game. I'm going with Bama State in this game, A, because the SWAC needs a win really bad, and B, I think their defense is better than Howard's offense. So I think their defense can, even with the weapons that Howard has, I think Bama State's defense can keep them in the game, and they may even score some points for the Hornets. So I think that defense is going to be the difference in this game. I think Bama State offense, it'll be inconsistent. I think they look good at times. I think they look bad at times, and that's some of the things that I've heard about this offense in their scrimmages and practices, that they've been showing flashes, but obviously they're not where they need to be at yet. And you're gonna grow with your quarterback. I mean, he's a young guy. This is his first start in college. So you're gonna, all the talent in the world, he has no experience in college. So you're gonna have to, fits and starts. You're gonna have to good and bad with him all until he gets comfortable. And this is a hell of a first game to get comfortable in that aspect. ESPN broadcast, 5 p.m. National broadcast, a lot of pressure, a lot of hype, and all eyes are on him. So it's going to be important for him to not force it and try to make plays, trust his system, and trust his guys. So I think Alabama State is going to win this game by a score of 20-17. I just think it's not going to be the prettiest game. It's going to be one of those games where I think whoever makes the last mistake is probably going to lose. So I think Bama State's defense is going to really carry this game and put them in positions to come out on top. And just want to take a look at a couple other games on the week 0 schedule. Just going to run through them really quickly, not really going to go in depth on them because these are a couple games that feature SWAC opponents in the upcoming weeks. You have Austin Peay at Western Kentucky. That Austin Peay plays Valley and Alabama A&M this season. North Texas is at UTEP. They play Texas Southern in week 2. And then a game that's not on this list is Edward Waters and Florida Memorial. So if you're a Southern fan, Florida Memorial plays this weekend. So if you want to kind of see what the team has, you can check them out as well. So there's three SWAC opponents on the schedule this week that are also in action. So you keep your eyes out on those. And that's it, man. Week 0, we here. We'll be back on Sunday to recap these games. And Thursday, SWAC Smoke live 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk some more about these upcoming games and and whatever else comes our way. So I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in. Said it before, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Like the video, share them, and hit me up in the comments, man. Let me know who you think is gonna win these games. Give me some scores, give me some key players and everything, and we'll catch you guys on the recap. Y'all have a good rest of your day, and we'll holler at y'all then. Peace.